So let's quickly go through the parts of the microscope and how to use it. So firstly, it's probably best you plug it in, set it up on the bench. When you're picking it up, pick it up by this part here, the arm, and put your other hand under the base just to support it. Microscopes are very expensive and dropping them isn't very good for them. Alright, so let's go through the parts. Up the top here, we've got the eyepiece, so this is the part you'll look through. When you're doing your diagrams, or when you're doing your measurements rather, if you're struggling to line up the scale, be aware you can rotate it a little bit. It's often easier than trying to adjust the slide. You can swivel this here, so this is the barrel. That's basically just a hollow tube. The eyepiece has a 10 times lens in it. We call this the nose, so that's the point where it can swivel. We've got the arm, so that's the bit where we suggest you carry it by. Sorry, actually this is the nose, the bit on which the objectives can swivel. We've got the low power objective is the shortest, often with a red stripe, is usually 4 times. The medium power, usually 10 times, usually the middle size with a yellow stripe. And the high power is usually the 40 times with a blue stripe. The black part here is the stage, and we've got some stage clips. Basically what you can do is you can push down here and put your slide underneath, and it will just help to hold it in place. If you ever can't get it to focus, to get things to focus you need to turn the coarse adjustment here, and if you're on a higher power, a medium or high power, you'll often use the fine adjustment. Now I have found sometimes there is a little safety here which limits how high the stage can come, and that's supposed to stop students raising the slides so much that it actually hits the objective, and often you crack the slides or cause a bit of damage. So normally what you'd do is you bring the stage all the way to the top. When you're trying to focus things, you'd start to lower it until it comes into focus. Now if you find you can't get it into focus, what's probably happening is that this stage is being limited a little bit too much and it can't come all the way up. Now there's 2 things you can do. Make sure firstly that your coarse adjustment is all the way up, but also that your fine adjustment also is all the way up. If a student's been using this and has turned it a whole heap the other way, it won't come all the way up to its true limit. So make sure the coarse adjustment has brought it right up to the top, and the fine adjustment, you've turned that all the way up as well. If it still doesn't come into focus, put another microscope slide underneath, and that will just prop your slide up, half a millimeter, and you should be able to get it into focus then. Down here we have the light source, so you can just turn that on there, and coming underneath the stage you can see here what we call the diaphragm. Now the diaphragm just controls how much light comes up through the stage, and there are 2 types. Some are just a simple plastic disc with a series of different sized holes in it, and you just swivel it around, and if it's a large hole it lets through more light, smaller hole lets through less light. This one is actually an iris, so you can turn this wee little handle here sticking out the side, and if we get right underneath, maybe we can see it. You can see the iris opening and closing, so that again just adjusts how much light is coming up through the stage. Why do you need to adjust that? If you're working with the microscope, if you're looking at it a long time, if the light is very bright, it can hurt your eyes. But it also can sort of effectively wash out the colour. Just like turning up the brightness on your TV screen, if you go too bright, you sort of start to lose some of the detail or the colour. At the same time, if it's too dark, it's very hard to sometimes differentiate between 2 points, or your image becomes not so clear either. So again, just play with that and adjust it until you feel you've got the best image and something that's comfortable for your eyes. And that's probably about it.